Good evening, Sneha. Good evening, everyone. Let's start the class. See, still we are not 28. We should be 28. Students are missing the class. See, we have done our pure bending. In the last class, we have done pure bending and then impure bending. So after pure bending and impure bending, we should students are thinking that we should go for symmetrical and unsymmetrical bending. But see guys, currently I am teaching you strength of material, okay? And symmetrical bending and unsymmetrical bending, it comes for aircraft structures. So if you will recall your first class when I was classifying the chapters, so right now after pure bending and impure bending, I will teach you deflection. And when all the parts of strength of material including torsion for the solid bar will get over, then we will go to the aircraft structure. There mainly we have to deal with the thin sections. So when we will be dealing with thin sections, then again one more time we will do bending and torsion. See, one bending and torsion we are doing here. So you have seen we have done our pure and impure bending. Just a minute. I forgot to keep my phone in flight mode. Yeah. So I was saying that already we have done our pure and impure bending, but this was kind of bar beams, and that we have seen for rectangular spatially. So we consider this as the part of strength of material, so that we build up our all basic ideas about pure and impure bending. Okay, we will do symmetrical and unsymmetrical bending and some more ideas about neutral axis when we will jump to aircraft structure. In aircraft structure, there is a topic called thin section, thin walled section. In thin walled section, we will see again bending. In the bending, we will see symmetrical and unsymmetrical, and we will see torsion. In torsion, we will see again. But here also, like today we are going to discuss deflection, and we will also discuss torsion and all in strength of material. It's like bending, torsion, these are the basic topics in strength of material. So whatever concept we have to develop under strength of material. Now same concept we are going to discuss when we will jump to aircraft structure. Okay, in aircraft structure we especially talk about airframes. In airframes, what are the sections are being used? Those sections like triangular section, I section, and blah blah things. Like whatever I am talking now, already I have explained this part in our first day class. In first day class, I explained everything about the syllabus, but I missed one major part, that is vibration. So of course vibration we have to take care. Okay, today we will start deflection of beam. So take your very fresh topic as deflection of beam. This is our 18th class for aircraft structure. So in deflection of beam, just we will take one example, and in that example we will understand what is the meaning of deflection, what is the meaning of slope, like that. So I am taking one simply supported beam. Now you are in the stage, like easily you can judge what is the meaning of simply supported beam. So suppose I have simply supported beam, and just increase the length and make it overhanging beam because I want to show something. Now imagine there is a load acting. When the load will act on the beam, then what will happen to the structure of the beam? Of course there will be sagging. So the blue portion is known as span of the beam. It will bend like this, and of course the overhanging part, the green part, will go like this, and this green part will go like this, right? So this will be the new design of the beam after applying the load. So you can see, if I talk, this part is deflecting this much, where the load is acting, that point is deflecting this much. Okay, and here you can see you got some angle this much, and here you can see you got some angle this much, and here you can see you don't have any angle with this axis. So two things we are going to discuss under this topic. There is something called slope, there is something called deflection. Now, why we have to focus more on this part, on deflection? Slope is very easy part. I mean, actually everything is easy, but in this chapter we have to discuss deflection a lot. Why? Because deflection is not helpful only to find out deflection. Actually, deflection plays major role in vibration. When I will be teaching you vibration, that time deflection is very, very important. If you know the deflection, you can easily find out frequencies of different beams. So actually, whatever deflection we will understand now, that deflection, like same deflection, we will use directly into the vibration chapter. Okay, we will do vibration after aircraft structure properly. So now see, in this diagram we'll understand what is the meaning of slope and what is the meaning of deflection. So deflection already I explained, like this kind of gap what you are seeing after the application of load. This gap can come because of any type of loading. So deflection is very, very easy to analyze. But when we are talking about slope, so in case of slope we have proper angle. Okay, now here we will understand some terminologies. So this deflected line what I have drawn here, it is the new structure of the beam after deflection. So it is known as elastic curve. You just take down, it is known as elastic curve. You can also call this as deflection curve. You can also call this as final position. So these three are the generally taken names for the deflected portion. Now, whenever we have deflection in this chapter, mostly it is shown by Y or del. So you can just write here, deflection you will show by Y or del. These two symbols mostly they use. In GATE exam they may use some other symbols also, so don't be stuck with the symbol. Just for the completion of topic we have to pick one symbol. Now for the slope, mostly in all the textbooks we use theta, and this theta is known as angular deviation. Okay, just a minute, someone has texted me. Renuka says she has issue joining in the meeting. She says did not change the password, but she is unable to. Okay. Yeah, there can be issue with the password. So just help her. Yeah, okay. So this theta is the symbol we are going to use for angular deviation, or you can say slope. Let's understand where is that. So see, we have sign convention here. I will take you to the next page so that I can explain. Now I will draw again the simply supported beam. The blue line is the span, and I am increasing little bit. I am converting this into the overhanging beam so that I can explain the diagram properly. And now imagine I am applying load here. So if I'll apply load here, take down, everyone take down. Okay, now see, I'm explaining. When I will apply load here, then what will happen? Then near to the load you will be having more deflection, but not exactly below the load. Okay, not exactly below the load. Like, you don't think that you'll be having deflection like this. No, you'll be having deflection something like this. It's like somewhere here you will be having maximum deflection. So you can say whatever Y you will measure here, that will be Y max. And you can clearly feel this. Here you will be getting more slope, and here you will be getting less slope. So you can just put this angle as theta, and if this end is A, so this will be theta A, and if this end is B, then this will be theta B. So whatever W, whatever load you are applying here, because of that load you got slope also and deflection also. Now mostly two types of deflections we have to take care for GATE exam. Mostly two types of deflection. Deflection exactly below the load and maximum deflection. I hope you understood two loads. Two types of deflections mostly they will ask. Mostly, I'm not saying exactly. Mostly there are chances they will ask deflection below the load and the maximum deflection. And you can clearly see they both are not same. Here you can see deflection y. Okay, so and you can clearly see theta A is more than theta B. There can be some theoretical and logical questions also based on the diagram. Okay, now because in this diagram I have explained about slope and deflection, where is your slope, where is your deflection, because you can see clearly this is the angle, so this is your slope, this is the angle, this is your slope, and angle we are measuring from the horizontal line. Angle is measured from horizontal line, right? And deflection is measured vertically. Deflection is measured vertically. Okay, now I will draw one cantilever for the example purpose. So I am going to draw one cantilever here, and we are going to apply one load here. So see what kind of elastic curve will come. What is elastic curve? The final position, or you can say the deflection curve. Okay, so you know this kind of curve will come. I will draw like this. From here to here it will be curve, but after that it will be straight line. I hope you understand this. After this it will be straight line. So until the load from the left end, you see from the left end your curve is, I mean your beam is somewhat curved. So you have curve here, but here this part is straight, right? So see here. Now at this point you can find out slope. At this point means at this point, whoever is deflecting at that point, we want to find out slope. So how to find out slope? You just draw one line like this, one line like this, like tangent at this point, tangent at the point where you are looking to find out slope. So you can say this as tangent. Okay, now that tangent will make certain angle, so it is making certain angle this. So this angle you just say as theta B, because this point I considered as B and this point I considered as A. Why I am showing theta B here? Because this tangent is actually coming from point B. I mean, you can see here you have this much deflection, correct? So actually this B came here, B shifted here. So actually you are drawing your tangent at point B. So that tangent is making angle from the horizontal line. That angle I am saying as theta B. Can you guys feel what about the slope if I will find out exactly at point A? It means what? Here is my point A and beam is already deflected. So exactly if you will go to point A and if you will draw the slope, it will be like this. The tangent will be like this. So actually your theta A will be 0. And already you know this point is fixed here, so this point will not go down. So your y is equal to also 0, theta is equal to also 0. So now these two conditions, you can call them as boundary conditions. Like it became your boundary condition, right? Or you can also say initial value condition. Initial value condition. It's like whatever force and all you are applying does not matter. In the beginning, initially, your theta A has to be 0 and your deflection has to be 0. Okay. So in different beams, already when I was classifying the type of support, that time I gave you moment is 0, slope is 0. I mean the vertical reactions, horizontal reactions, they are 0. Now here we are adding two more things, that is slope and deflection. So total 5 types of conditions you can have in a structure. Let me explain again. See, just an example. When we were taking simply supported beam, one example simply I am taking to explain all the types of conditions. So we say that we explained that at this point you have vertical reaction and you have horizontal reaction, but you don't have moment because hinge will not provide moment. So this became one condition, like m is equal to 0. This is pre-known condition. So this condition is helpful for us to solve, to apply some mathematics or something. Okay, but at this point you got one more logic. What? When the same beam will go under deflection, you will be getting one more condition. What is that condition? Suppose the same beam is here and you are applying some load here. Because of that the beam is turning like this. So you are getting slope here but no deflection. Beam cannot go down. So y is equal to 0, you got a condition. So this condition we are getting from static equilibrium equation, and this condition we are getting from geometry. So after these two, like these two people are going to be helpful for us. Okay, and of course if you are having a cantilever beam, just now I was talking, so if this beam will bend like this, so at the fixed end, if you will draw a slope, your slope is also going to be 0, and of course this point cannot shift down, cannot shift up, because it is built in. Always remember, this part, I mean this kind of fixed part is known as built in. Okay, the wall in which the beam is inside, that is known as built in. So sometimes the fixed beam is also known as built in beam. Okay, so currently that is not my focus. My focus is main about if you have any beam, that beam will deflect under loading. So at any point, how will you find out slope? So how to find out slope? From the horizontal, whatever is the angle. Okay, you at this point, if you are interested to find out slope, draw the tangent and find out the angle. Okay, next part, at the same point we can ask you to find out deflection del, or symbol you can change as y. Okay, now for this we have very easy method, very easy method. 3-4 popular methods are there, but now I am going to give you the best method, which is directly helpful for GATE exam. Because see guys, you should understand which method is helpful for GATE exam, like fast method, how fast you can solve the numerical. Like in case of elasticity numericals, I explained everything to solve using Mohr circle, because if you are practicing Mohr circle, you will not do mistake. Only mistakes can be you may take 2 theta and you may not convert into theta. This kind of basic mistakes you may do. But okay, so right now to understand the deflection, what part we should understand? We should understand differential equation. Okay, so there is a proper differential equation. That differential equation we will use. Okay, Taresh, are you asking for this page? Previous page. Okay, so now I have to explain the equation part, and there is a method called double integration method, and slowly we will grow in the chapter.